What's up everybody, I'm Jesse, this is my garage, here's our project cars, and today we're going to talk about the Nissan 300ZX and the front upper control arms and some different options you have when replacing them. Alright, well if you're interested in maintenance and modification of your Nissan 300ZX, make sure to hit that subscribe button because that's what we're talking about on this channel. Alright, well when it comes to the upper control arm on your 300ZX, we have a lot of options. And you might be asking, well, why do I want to upgrade my front upper control arm? Well, if you're lowering your vehicle, it's going to change the geometry of your suspension. And your wheels are going to sit a little bit more like this. And what we want to do is with the front upper control arm, that actually is what controls the camber on the Nissan 300ZX. So we can straighten our wheels out a little bit. You know, we can still run a little bit of camber, but get more grip, get more traction, get the car where you want it to go and make it handle that much better. I'm gonna give you a little tip on how to set the aftermarket control arms to the length to get you started before the alignment. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. All right, well, when it comes to the front upper control arm on your 300ZX, we have lots of options. Stillen, Megan Racing, of course, Nismo. We've got our eBay options, which are kind of like no-name replica options of other manufacturers, which I'll talk about in just a minute. AMS, Power Tricks. Of course, we have just a replacement OEM option, but wait, there's more. Our Z1, our SPL, ISR, and GK Tech. Now, with so many options out there, it can get confusing to what you might want. Why is there so many options? Who offers what? Are they all the same? And they're all similar, but they're not all the same. So of course, the most expensive arm on this list is the Nismo upper control arm for the 300ZX. Usually that stuff is pretty expensive, and I think these run in about $500 a pair. Now AMS, Power Tricks, and SPL, I really don't have a lot of background with these companies. I haven't really used their parts in the past on any previous builds I've done. But they're just some different options that you can use if maybe you have used some of them before or want to explore different options because you don't like some of the other ones on this list. Of course, we have our replacement OEM ones, but I'll put that same as the Nissan Nismo brand ones. It's going to be a nice replacement and freshen up all your bushings, but not going to give you adjustable camber. Then my two favorite on this list, of course, you already know if you're watching this channel and watch the build that we put the ISR ones on this car. It actually has ISR arms on the front and the back. And I also, I'll also like GK Tech just because both of those divisions, both of those companies are on the track companies that do a lot of racing, a lot of drifting, and they're proven quality, and they're proven quality with a great price. And that's what I really like about those two companies. I think anybody on this list is going to give you what you need. The only one I would probably stay away from is just the no-name eBay ones. They look really enticing, but the reason that they're so cheap is because they don't have to do any of the R&D, and they probably use the cheapest materials possible to replicate ones that that are more money, but they can replicate them, sell them to you cheaper. No, I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying be careful. And I know a lot of people are using replica eBay ones on, like I've seen it on the 240SX Facebook groups, people talking about using them, having a hard time finding them during the 2020 shortage of all kinds of stuff, and a lot of race car parts are on back order. So I know people are out there using them, just wanted to put it on the list. Now I will say a little side note on GK Tech ones, they are a little bit more I don't want to say over-engineered, but they're different. They're the most different ones on this list, and they will not bind in any way, but they are definitely, I didn't get the GK Tech ones, you guys know I love GK Tech, but my car, what we're building is a little bit more of a street cruiser, definitely not a track car. I would say the GK Tech ones are definitely meant for more track serious builds where it has two adjustable arms that there's going to be no binding on anything. But I just felt I didn't need that for this build, and also I didn't want to confuse the alignment tech when he's going to align the vehicle, because I ran into alignment shops that can't even adjust alignment with basic that are pretty commonly seen in aftermarket control arms to adjust length and adjust alignment. So I didn't want to tackle those either because I thought that might just give me more problems down the road than it's going to be worth, because like I said, this is going to be a street car. That being said, if you're building a track car, drift, time attack, autocross, all that stuff, I would definitely go with those ones because they offer like the most performance and the most adjustability and the least bind to have the smoothest transition and all of that, which is really nice. And like I said, I like to work with companies like these because they go that much deeper into designing this stuff and they really test their products out. If you don't know about like GK Tech, go check out their stuff because they're hardcore in testing these products. But everybody on this list is good. And of course, I went with ISR. I like that company too because they have all kinds of race cars. All right, so that's all the upper control arms that are out there. If you have any questions, hit me down in the comments. That maybe we can expand on this topic, or maybe you got it, because what you really need to do is find yourself an alignment tech and talk with them and make sure that they can align your suspension with whatever aftermarket parts you put on there. But since you watched the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you a tip about putting your aftermarket control arms right now. So like I said, these were the ones that were on my car, and obviously you can tell they're nowhere close to the correct or even the same length on either side. So not only do we want to, when we set our new upper control arms, get them on the correct length, at least to match each other, but what we want to do is we want to match these arms, whatever our aftermarket arm is, we want to match that arm with the same length that the OEM arm, the one we're taking off the car, we want to match that up with our new arms. Of course, put anti-seize on your threads, get everything lubricated, that way it'll last for a while. I don't know how long these were on my car. As you can see, look how rusted they are. This actually came from a warm climate too. This car's from Southern California. I actually picked it up in Reno, so that's not even in a wet climate. That's how fast these parts are rusting. You can get these on eBay for like $60 to $90. But if you do, make sure take care of your products. And I'm also not sure what's going on here, because if you can see on that, they like shaved this off to fit on this one, on that whole side, because on this one, it is mostly blue. So I don't know. I'd be wary about really cheap parts when the counterparts, I think these are replicas of the Megan Racing, or Megan Racing, however you say it. They're replicas of that one. I'm not sure how much those are. I'll put it up somewhere right here. But I think these are like half the price of those ones. So not only are they not doing their R&D, they're just copying that. The parts might not fit correctly. So at least we have our arms to the length of our OEM arms that we took off. And like I said, we're gonna find a good alignment tech, talk to them, vet them out, let them know that you have some aftermarket components on your car and that they are confident and they'll be able to align it. Like I said, I went with the ISR ones because I like that company, the R&D, the quality of product, and the cost is a good cost. And I knew that they would be able to align them relatively easy, and I wouldn't have to worry about that because I don't have an alignment rack. So at the end of the day, that's one thing we have to source outside of the shop. All right, well, hopefully you got some enjoyment out of this. If you got any value, any enjoyment, if this helped you all along your build, or gave you some ideas to think about what you need to do, or what you need to consider when ordering your front upper control arms for your 300ZX or any vehicle really, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, if you want to learn more about maintaining, modifying, and just having a sweet car, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And until then, follow me on Build Theory and Instagram, and I'll see you next time.